We asked 100 married women. Some days I'd be willing to trade my man for a really good what?
Pool boy.
A good what?
I'm sorry.
What did you just say?
Surprise, surprise! Social media has been abuzz lately with rumors around yet another cheating scandal. This time, the unfaithful party is Marjorie Harvey, the wife of Family Feud host and comedian Steve Harvey. The couple has been married for 16 years now and has always portrayed the relationship as being nothing but solid and secure. So fans were extremely shocked to learn about the possible infidelity happening behind closed doors. And if that drama wasn't enough, Steve Harvey's biological kids are calling Marjorie out for using Steve for his fame and money, claiming that she has a master plan to dump him and take half of his wealth. It sounds like there is a lot of tension going on right now in this family, and the tea is boiling over with how hot it is. So what exactly has Steve's biological children fired up this time? And is Steve only a meal ticket for Marjorie? Well, stay tuned while we share all of the important details behind this family feud. And make sure to subscribe to our channel and smash that like button. Alright, it's no secret that Steve's biological children have never really liked Marjorie. At one point, they were even vocal about Steve marrying Marjorie in the first place. Steve's children have always had a bad feeling about Marjorie, and it started way back in 2005 when Steve and Marjorie first got together. So it looks like there is a crazy amount of drama happening in the Harvey family because rumors have been swirling that Steve's 4 biological children were coming after his wife Marjorie because they feel she has been using Steve for his fame and money. And quite frankly, they are tired of her manipulative ways. They can no longer stand by and watch Marjorie spend Steve's cash and be unfaithful to him. According to an insider source, Steve's biological children aired their concerns to Steve multiple times, but he had already decided on his future with Marjorie, and that she was the woman for him. Almost like it was fate that brought them together at the right time. Interesting fact about Steve and Marjorie's relationship is that they originally met back in the 90s, but the relationship never went anywhere.
Okay, baby. Where did I meet you?
Oh,
First time we met.
Memphis.
Where?
At a comedy club.
Okay.
Steve was initially attracted to Marjorie, but Marjorie just wasn't interested in pursuing him romantically, probably because he was broke and barely had 2 nickels to rub together. When they met, Steve was struggling to make it as a comedian and was working on growing his career. On the flip side, Marjorie had experience with luxury and had reportedly developed a taste for the good life as a result of her previous relationships with successful men. Marjorie's first husband and father of 2 of her children, Jim Townsend, had a reputation of being involved in some pretty shady business dealings and was later busted trying to secure some illegal substances, and the police sent Jim straight to jail. At the time, the authorities believed that Marjorie was also involved in the shady business as well, but she was never prosecuted. Could have been because she was pregnant at the time, or because Jim struck up a deal, saving Marjorie from doing any hard time. Which, if she was guilty of some wrongdoing, and we're not saying she was or wasn't, it would be awfully nice of Jim to take the rap in the hopes of coming home to a loving wife and newborn. Well, fat chance, Jim. Shortly after he was incarcerated, Marjorie filed for divorce. She went on to marry Darnell Woods, who is rumored to be Lori's biological father. However, Darnell was also in the illegal substance business, and he too ended up getting caught not long after he and Marjorie got married. But surely, this was the relationship that would withstand everything, right? Yeah, not this time, as Marjorie didn't stick around long after Darnell went to prison and she filed for divorce. Again, just like she had with hubby number 1 when he was incarcerated. Steve has always been big on family and adores all of his children, especially his biological children Winton, Broderick, Randy, and Carly. But they all know about Marjorie's sketchy past relationships and lure to anyone with money. It's not exactly a secret that her extremely questionable past is cause for concern and is a very valid reason why they don't like Marjorie very much. With her history and taste for the finer things, Marjorie is definitely giving off gold digger vibes, and Steve's kids believe she is only interested in him for the money. One of Steve's daughters, Brandy, is particularly bothered that Marjorie never gave Steve a chance when they first met back in the 90s, when Steve was flat broke. However, Marjorie was quick to fall in love with him when he had millions to his name. Did she really have a change of heart? Was she really looking for love after 2 failed relationships? Or does the money lust run deep in her veins?
Okay, am I the man makeover of the week? Are you serious?
Yeah.
So I love my man, but what you mean, but?
Whatever the real reason is behind Marjorie's motives, it's interesting to note about Steve and Marjorie's relationship that she didn't keep in touch with Steve after they first met, but she stayed in contact with his bodyguard. The very same bodyguard that Steve credits with reintroducing him to Marjorie after his divorce from his second wife, Mary, in 2005. The very same bodyguard that she has been rumored to be having an affair with.
It's bad if you cheat, but you're going to hell if you cheat with your blank.
I'm Big Boom. They call me the bodyguard for women's heart.
Marjorie didn't hesitate to give Steve a chance this time, of course, now that he could afford to give her the life she had grown accustomed to. And he spared no expense when it came to Marjorie's happiness, reportedly even calling it out on a special episode of Family Feud, where his family came on the show claiming that the thing he spent the most money on was in fact Marjorie. So it's not surprising that Steve's biological kids are not pleased with how much money Steve has been spending on Marjorie, but they soon came to the realization that nothing was going to change Steve's mind. But that doesn't mean that the drama around the situation magically disappeared. In fact, there was more drama than people knew what to do with, because now there was a clear divide between Steve's biological children and the 3 children he legally adopted from Marjorie's previous marriages. They even took his last name. I mean, if it means safety and comfort for the rest of your life, why not? But Marjorie's biological children didn't just get the Harvey name. Oh no, they reportedly are also getting a piece of Steve's inheritance, which means that Steve's biological children will be getting less. In an interview, Steve mentioned a moment when his daughters revealed that they didn't want him to marry Marjorie.
They wasn't in agreement. They went bowling one night in Memphis when me and Marjorie first got together. We brought all the kids together, all 7 of them. And all the girls went bowling and came back and decided they didn't want us to get married and said they don't think it's the right thing to do.
Obviously, Steve didn't take that advice because he went forward with marrying Marjorie anyway, and the drama didn't stop there. Because now that Marjorie was in the picture, so were her biological children, and sources close to the family claim that Marjorie manipulated Steve into putting her children before his own. In a shocking confession, Steve's son Brodericks shared that he barely had a relationship with Steve until he turned 16.
I didn't really have my dad full-time into my life until I was 16.
Steve claims that he was too young to be a father at the time and needed to go out and make something of himself.
I don't have to stay with his mom. It didn't work out. And it wasn't his mother's fault. And I've said this many times. I was too young at the time. I wasn't the man I needed to be. And so I made some bad decisions along the way. He resented the fact that I left, but I had to go and become who I am today.
And it wasn't just his son Broderick who got the short end of the stick. His other son Winton had it even worse, with claims made by his mother Mary that Steve was abusive to him after they divorced. Which is shocking to hear that Steve would treat one of his children that way, especially considering he is more than happy to dote on his stepchildren, often posting about the trips or occasions he spends with his stepdaughter Lori Harvey, something he never did with his own daughters. Which is just adding fuel to the jealousy fire. A source revealed that things had gotten particularly bad when Lori Harvey, Marjorie's child from a previous marriage that was adopted by Steve, started getting famous for her looks and being one of Steve Harvey's children. She's often being photographed on lavish trips, eating at fancy restaurants, or being in high-profile relationships. And she's worked with Chanel and dated Michael B. Jordan. So, when rumors of Marjorie's cheating on Steve went viral a couple days ago, Steve's biological children started coming forward saying, "I told you so." The bodyguard that reintroduced Marjorie and Harvey the second time around, that resulted in their marriage, is said to have been cheating with Marjorie, with some reporting that it was always their plan to get an in with Steve's wealth and take half of it in a divorce. However, Steve was quick to respond to these rumors and confirmed that all is well in his marriage.
Just let me say, I'm fine. Marjorie fine. I don't know what y'all doing, but find something else to do, because we fine. Lord have mercy.
But just because Steve is saying things are fine doesn't mean his children are close to trusting Marjorie anytime soon. A source close to the family has claimed that Steve's kids are ready and waiting for when Marjorie slips up again, and when they have more proof that she is only interested in Steve's money. So, what do you think about all of this family drama? Do you think that Steve's kids are right to have concerns about Marjorie using their dad for his money? Or do you think she's just misunderstood? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section and check out our next video.